Rockloud album, with Antonellalizzy.
Hello rock and rollers, welcome to the Rockloud album. I'm Antonella and I will comment on the most essential rock albums. Starting today, I'm going to start a special about Monsters of Rock 30 years. The festival had its first edition in England in 1980 and in 1994 it arrived in Brazil, with bands such as Kiss, Suicidal Tendencies, Black Sabbath, Slayer, among others. On April 19th, the 30th anniversary edition of the festival will take place in São Paulo, which will bring the following bands: Savatage, Queensrÿche, Opeth, Stratovarius, Judas Priest, Scorpions, and Europe. The latter being in particular one of my favorite bands that I have even experienced curious situations at the band shows, but I will talk about it in the episode dedicated to them. In the coming weeks, I will review an album by each band from the lineup of the 2025 edition of Monsters of Rock, and Savatage will be the opening act for this Rockloud special. Savatage was formed in 1979 by brothers Jon and Criss Oliva in Florida. In 1985, they released Power of the Night, their second studio album, on Atlantic Records, an album that brought controversy, even with the sexual content used figuratively. In the songs Hard for Love and Skull Session, it was not pressed with the Parental Advisory label, which led the Power of the Night being banned from some media outlets. This fact was also seen as a marketing ploy to increase sales, and what a very good marketing ploy, huh? Power of the Night was also the last album with the bassist Kit Collins, later replaced by Johnny Lee Middleton. In addition to Collins, the album also featured Jon Oliva on vocals and keyboards, Criss Oliva on guitars, and Steve Wackles on drums. The album cover represents a punch in the glass, and now, my dear rock and rollers, I'm going to tell you that this cover represents well what this album brings us, but I don't want to give any spoilers here. The genre attributed to Savatage is rock, and its style is progressive metal, power metal, and heavy metal. The album was produced by Max Norman, the same producer who has worked with Ozzy Osbourne, Megadeth, and Loudness, an incredible band that I'm still going to talk about here. Right? So, let's get it. Savatage, Power of the Night. The album begins with the song that names it, and, after a somewhat psychedelic introduction, the guitar and drums already demonstrate what will come next. Very connected, they will bring a great bass for the vocalist and also a lot of power to the song. The very powerful and exciting guitar solo had a strong support from the rhythm guitar and drums, meaning what was already incredible became unquestionable. What is also unquestionable is Oliva's powerful voice. Together with his band partners, they brought in a raw way a little of the spirit of rock, the wild soul of metal. And now I ask you, my dear rock and rollers, are we facing an anthem or not? Let's move on to the next track. Unusual starts with a wonderful harmonic partnership between solo guitar and drums, and it's this that will provide a strong base for the song. But what's already good can get even better, right, Savatage? The bass, as fantastic as it was powerful, brought a little tension to the song, breaking some of the hegemony of guitar and drums. The vocal in turn is predominantly powerful, dominant, and even a little high-pitched, but with few moments of tranquility, if I may say so. The guitar solo is very well supported by rhythm guitar, drums, and bass, which is very powerful. If you haven't noticed its presence yet, this is a great time to do so. Warriors, let's go to the next battle. Infamous puns aside, it's Warriors' turn. It sounds calmer than its predecessors at first, but it just sounds. Soon we will have a wonderful partnership of guitar and drums dominating almost all the song. The vocal starts the song following the tranquility imposed by the other members, but it will soon follow the heavier sound of the song and we will have a vocal that is not so aggressive, but quite powerful, a power that Jon has in spades. The guitar solo with great bass and drum support is again quite exciting, and I can say that it contributed very well to the energy of the song. Let's head to the iconic and we were very well received by the solo guitar and its incredible partner, the drums. Once again, this union dominates the track. As iconic as the lyric is the very powerful bass in the background, something that brought a darker intensity to the song. Do you understand when I said as iconic as the lyrics? The very high-pitched and even, let's say, demonic vocals sometimes bring a diabolical atmosphere to the song, which I consider very suitable for necrophilia. The guitar solo is a little less aggressive than its predecessors, but with a great emphasis on the rhythm guitar and well supported by the bass and mainly the drums. Moving on, is Wash It Out's turn. There will be moments when the drums intensify the power of the lead guitar, but there will also be moments when the two make an incredible sound partnership. But now, do you want more? What was already heavy enough became even more intense with the vocals. Aggressive, terrifying, and even a little melodic was a great complement to the song. Just like the vocal, the brief guitar solo was very aggressive, but without losing its melody and well supported mainly by drums and rhythm guitar. Well, I think it's a nice way to move on to the album's first controversy. Hard for Love will highlight the guitar and drums. That's more harmonious than heavy partnership will bring a wonderful bass to the vocal, which is more powerful than aggressive. But for Hard for Love, power is more recommended than aggressiveness, if you know what I mean. Discreetly striking, the bass brought a more intense and dominant sound which was enhanced by the rhythm guitar. The attractive guitar solo had a great support from the drums and mainly the rhythm guitar. I would even say that the rhythm guitar stood out more than the lead guitar. Now, a particularity, let's say, quite daring. Did you notice a similarity with AC/DC? Or was it just me who noticed the band's influence on the song? Let's go now to Fountain of Youth. Although the guitar and drums have a great emphasis, the drums will be more highlighted, being also very well supported by the bass, which is no longer as discreet as in the previous track. The vocal is softer and, obviously, powerful and melodic at times. Although Jon is following the sound proposal, it doesn't mean that the vocals didn't make a big difference in the song. Again, improving what was already wonderful. The guitar solo had its energy supported by the intense partnership of rhythm guitar and bass, and by the drums that supported all these sound wonders, making what was already powerful even stronger. Next stop, the second controversy of this album. If the highlight of Fountain of Youth was the drums, Skull Session will be the rhythm guitar, which starts off quite imposing, quite provocative not only at the beginning but throughout the track. But all this power will be even more intense with the fierce drums, and the bass and rhythm guitar in sync, the latter once again being a highlight. The stimulating guitar solo and strong support from the rhythm guitar and drums and partnership with the bass bring a great intensity to the climax of the track. The more aggressive and high-pitched vocals were a great icing on the cake for this incredible sound practiced here. Now, honestly, I didn't see anything apocalyptic in any of the controversial lyrics, but I believe that this controversy only helped the band, or am I wrong? Okay, next song. Stuck on You, it's also not a track to listen to with your family, that's why it's one of the coolest songs on. It will come with the bass and guitars in a great partnership and with a very fierce and powerful drums. Speaking of the bass, its power is well noted from the beginning to the end of the song, as is the rhythm guitar, which was an excellent partner for the bass in terms of intensity. The articulate guitar solo will have a strong support from bass, rhythm guitar and drums, with the greatest emphasis on these last two instruments. Meanwhile, the vocal will be very high-pitched, strong and imposing. Did you expect anything less than that, rock and rollers? I'm not. And now, for those who are younger, you can turn on the flashlight on your cell phone. But, for those who are already old school, let's keep the flames of our lives lit, because our next stop is In the Dream, the ballad from the album. The last track comes with a lot of emotion and brings with it very highlighted guitars and also a very powerful, intense bass. The lead guitar was a great protagonist in the chorus, bringing more energy and breaking up some of the softness imposed by the song. The vocal was very soft most of the time, and even emotional if I may say so, portraying very well the sentimental lyrics of the song. The very strong guitar solo was well supported by the rhythm guitar, bass and mainly by the drums, which was a great assistant for the rhythm guitar and bass partnership, which helped the climax of the song to have even more intensity. Right, So thanks for listening to Rockloud album Power of the Night, a heavy and incredible album by Savatage, a band that will return to the stage after 10 years at Monsters of Rock in São Paulo, so if you have the opportunity to watch them, don't waste it. And for those who don't know the band yet, it's worth checking out, and for those who haven't listened to the album yet, it's a must listen for all rock and rollers. To support the channel, please click the link in the video description. So, un abbraccio a tutti, I'll be back, bye bye!